Okay, so our main topic tonight, guys, is really we're going to go back into Clash. And by the way, let's end that with just good luck, Jake. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works out for you. But Blondie hopefully be able to add to this conversation too, as well as the rest of the panel here tonight about the new tier systems. Now, I got a couple of opinions.
Yeah.
First of all, because as a new Town Hall 10, I got to say that I'm very excited to see that the CWL is trying to include more early stage Town Hall 10s, which that's the whole point.
That's one of the biggest challenges I think a lot of Town Hall 9s faced with, pushing that button and going to 10 is that that it's going to be like such an insane grind before you're even war ready at Town Hall 10, So you're basically putting yourself out of wars for at least a couple months.
Yeah. So what's the feedback been?
It's been really positive so far. And I've actually witnessed a couple of people in my own clan be like, cool, I'm going to do this then. And let's be honest, where's the shortage of Town Hall levels in our community right now? It's Town Hall 10. That's the bottleneck that we all face when we're recruiting. So in order to be looking toward the future and making sure everybody has what they need, especially if we're working towards getting heavier and heavier with wars, then, it's really important that we be encouraging 9s to upgrade to 10s.
So this basically describes me perfectly. I went to Town Hall 10 about 6 weeks ago now, around there, 6 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I'm technically now I still feel like a 9, although my upgrades are slowly happening. I got all of my army camps done, and I'm already now starting on troop upgrades. But then I realized, in fact, this conversation happened between me and Crypt. I had the elixir to upgrade a troop, and Crypt this was prior to me thinking about the tier system. Crypt said, you gotta upgrade the miners to level 2. That way I can donate miners to the clan, which sounds like a really good idea. But
so selfish.
But according to the tier system, if I did that, which I did not do, I upgraded goblins to his anger. However, I'll defend myself, but I'm glad that I didn't do the miners, because that would have instantly put me up to a tier 2.
Yeah, there are offensive caps on the tier 1 now, so it's the only tier that has offensive caps.
So I don't know if anybody has these images. In fact, I welcomed Joey from Immoral Thieves onto the panel for this spot, because something very interesting is happening within the Clash world. So for those that are listening to this podcast, hopefully you are a clan war type of player, which would make sense. But even more importantly is you may be asking yourself the question is, do I stay as a max Town Hall 9 where I can definitely be picked up and selected for any clan? However, we have an overabundance of max Town Hall 9s, right, Blondie? There's quite a few.
Yeah, there's tons of 9s.
So the question is, like for somebody who maybe they call them a career 9, somebody who maxed Town Hall 9 and then just stayed there, maybe so long that now maybe they're getting bored, or they always wanted to. Now I'm talking for those that don't buy accounts or share accounts, but maybe they want to play Town Hall 10 like myself.
Right.
So the only way to do that is you got to hit the button. You got to go to Town Hall 10 on your own. And that puts you in a very scary position to now be eligible for wars, because all of these clans are going to look at you and say, well, now you're a baby 10. And that would be scary for a lot of war players that want to be added on, that want to be opted in to all the wars.
Well, the other dimension there is that, you don't even forget about all the grind and the time off, etc. I mean, you have no guarantees that you're going to ever be the player at 10 that you could have been at 9. So if you're competing in invite as a 9 and you go to 10, I mean, you might never get there, right? I mean, it's not everybody.
No, some people have got it,
Some people do, but definitely not everybody, And I mean, I've seen players that we had in NW as 9s that went to 10 and just never really could play at the same level as a 10. I mean, they still had fun, I'm sure, but it does bring up questions about, well, if I'm in a really competitive clan, I push the button. I mean, you want to think, this is my clan. They'll work with me, but eventually, if you don't get it, probably just for self-conscious reasons, you move on. So I mean, that whole decision's pregnant with tons of risk, more than just related to what you upgrade when you could or couldn't be included in wars. There's another whole performance dimension to it. You probably can if you're a really good player, but it's still out there.
That's why I was asking Blondie what the response was like.
Well, I mean, one thing you have to remember too is that the tier 1, one of the things that was happening with tier 1s before in season 2 was that almost all the clans in Invite, and even some of the clans in some of the other leagues like Premier and Rising and Light, their tier 1 Town Hall 10s would be with 40/40 heroes. And, perfectly upgraded to be as OP as possible and still at that under 100 point level, right?
Yeah.
So, now with the points being a whole lot lower and with there being offensive caps, you're really giving new people that are new to 10 a way better shot at matching with other people that are at the same level. And then it's not going to be a ding to the clans to have as many of them as they want on their roster because they're being counted separately. So, the master roster caps set for Town Hall 10 don't include your tier 1s. They're for your tier 2 through 5s. And then there's a separate kind of section that you're allowed to have for your tier 1s.
So I just added the picture onto the Discord chat of what the tier 1 maximum defenses are. And so pretty much everything is a max Town Hall 9 defensively, except for a few different items. Air defenses you can max out. Air sweepers you can max out. Your hidden Teslas you can max out. And now the expo wasn't clear to me, but it looks like you can get the third expo and max all those out as well, plus the one level 1 Inferno Tower, plus the one level 2 Inferno Tower, and that'll keep you defensively as a tier 1, correct?
Yeah, you've got to keep the expos at Town Hall 9 level. And I think you can only just have those. They wanted to do it that way because when you upgrade to Town Hall 10, there's that special that you can buy, the starter pack, the Town Hall 10 starter pack. Yeah. Oh, that comes with the level 2 IT. Yeah.
Okay.
So what about troop levels as far as that goes, and hero levels when it comes to tier 1?
You have to choose.
Hero levels cap at 35, and
you get all the farm troops. Blondie, do you have that? Do you have that image of the troop selection?
Let me screenshot it and post it up.
Okay, thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, DeadPlate. There is there gets to a point where you have to choose which war troops you can upgrade. They'll only allow you to upgrade certain ones, and this is where hopefully this conversation can kind of open up a little bit more. Joey, are you there?
Yep.
Hey, Joey. So this is Joey from Immoral Thieves, part of the new ICL League. And Joey, for the most part, the tier system is something that is kind of widely accepted now between the CWL, the NDL, and the new ICL, with a few exceptions. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah, we're fans of the tier system. We think it was a good addition to, or a better alternative than just the normal weights.
Which is something that I'm glad for. Blondie, I mean, the fact that a system is rolled out and it's widely accepted now as a standard, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, there was some skepticism in the beginning when we talked about doing that it was going to be really hard to get all the leaders on board and that it was going to be, confusing. But I think that the responses that we got in the end of season survey for it is everybody was really pleased with it and thought it made the matchmaking at Town Hall 10 a lot more balanced and fair.
Yeah, and it also makes you kind of, well, at least for me, I have to think about what I'm going to upgrade.
Right.
There's different ways that you can be a tier 1. But there was something to this that I'm not saying it didn't make sense, but maybe it'll cause a factor, and that's why Joey asked to be on as we talked about this. Joey, do you have time to talk right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you got a family behind you. But so the tier systems, as far as for tiers 1 and 2, there's not a lot per clan at this time, correct? Or is it more of a challenge?
What do you mean?
To have a low-weighted Town Hall 10s.
We have a bunch. We have a whole bunch of people that have recently gone to 10 and would fit well into the tier 1 category.
So for Northwatchers family, if you guys had a roster up for season 3, you guys will meet the qualifications for the tier. What was it? You got to have 3. Was it 3 or 4 at 1 to 2? There was like a requirement that the clans had to meet.
You mean we're not just talking about tier 1 now, we're talking about all the Town Hall 10 tiers?
Well, it was like, I believe like you could have like high, well, of course everyone's going to be high tiered naturally if they've been Town Hall 10 for a while. So they're not going to even be tier 1 or 2, or even possibly even 3. Do you know where the weights break down at for those tiers? Or all the weights are different?
It's not really done by weights. It's done by points on defenses. So like...
the points okay.
Yeah, the walls don't count. None of the traps or hidden Teslas or anything like that count. Air defenses don't count. But all of the point defense and splash, those all have points associated with them.
Okay.
So you rack up points for the number of defenses you have at certain levels.
So is this a requirement of clans now? I mean, can clans not come together? Let's say 2 clans come together and they don't meet their 2 requirements during a week for you guys. Can they come to their own agreement?
There are requirements on how many of each level you have to have, or else if we didn't do that, then, there are some clans that would just go, stack their clan with all max bases. And then, it just makes it not as much fun if you don't have as much variety of different levels of bases to plan attacks on. So.
And when's the first new week of season 3?
It's going to be the first week of August.
So in other words, you're giving clans notice now so they have enough time to find these people? Yeah. Okay, I get you.
Totally. And, it's not a whole lot different than has been for this season. So I think most people are prepared for it.
Now, in the ICL, do you guys give clans that flexibility, Joey?
What do you mean by flexibility?
Like, if one clan who's due to match another clan can't meet a certain requirement, let's say they don't have enough ones, can they come together under an agreement between the 2 clans to have an extra 2 instead of?
Yeah, there's no hard rule.
So I think where we differ is like the CWL, they have set requirements. So, for example, tier 1 and 2, every clan must have 3 of those on their master roster, and then you have to have 2 available in every war. So you can have 3 total, and then you have to have 2 in each war every weekend. And then for tier 1 through 3, you have to have 6 on your roster, and then you have to have 4 on the roster each weekend on war day. So I think that's where we differ, is that we have the same tier system because we're fans of it, but we don't have, or we haven't set any requirements for what clans have to have on their roster, or what clans have to have on their roster every weekend. We've just set it aside. We have a document for all of the leadership, what we call the council, for all the council votes. So before the season starts, or as the season's starting, it's something that we'll talk with leaders about, and we'll have a council vote on. But yeah, I don't expect it to be as specific as that. My personal feeling on it is maybe have something a lot simpler. So you have maybe like, you have to have 3 or 4 93s and less, like on your master roster or something like that. If you want to have requirements. I'm more of a fan of not having requirements at all, but I know some people like them. It just depends what the leaders
I'm more of
all
a fan
feel.
I'm kind of more of a fan of, obviously you have a set master roster, and then some weeks some of those individuals might not be able to play. I mean, it does happen, right? And if 2 leaders from two clans can come together and make an arrangement and still have the war go on as normal, I don't see the harm in it.
Well, I don't think there would be a harm in that in CWL either. I mean, if the point of it isn't to be restrictive, the point is it just to like make sure that there's balance and that everybody's kind of like got a variety of things going on. Because, you know, in a perfect world, it would be great to be like, let's not have restrictions. Like nobody wants to have the restrictions. But the thing is that there are clans that if you don't have the restrictions in place, well, then they'll just going to stack their clan with all max bases. And then, you know, it makes it really difficult for any other clans to match that and be able to have a fair war. So having that is really, you know, helping to make sure everybody's kind of got a variety of stuff going on. But if there were, you know, 2 clans that were, you know, we don't involve ourselves, like the admins don't get involved in the negotiations between 2 clans when they set up their war, unless someone has a problem and brings us in.
Sure.
So what goes on in negotiation between 2 clans is their business. So if they decided like, hey, let's not worry about making sure we have this number of 92s, this number of 91s, like this is what we've got and we agree on it, then there's not a problem with that at all.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way that you guys are trying to incentivize Title 9s to go to 10 and therefore bringing them quicker into war instead of having them sit out for such long periods of time. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I as someone who's been through that struggle, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it is.
We need more 10s.
I'm happy to go to 10. I'm excited.
Yeah. How are you doing with it, Rig? Are you smashing? Are you doing, what are you doing? Are you like hitting 9.5s or are you hitting 9s? What are you up to in war?
All right. Well, first of all, I'm not warring currently.
You're not?
Oh, God. Blew out my speakers.
You gotta stay sharp.
No, I've been farming. That's why I changed my name in the ByeForever family chat to Peaceful Farmer. So basically what I'm doing right now is just upgrading, and it takes a lot. I mean, to go from Max 9 to Town Hall 10, I knew it was not going to be easy, but it was like a goal of mine to not stay at 9 for too long. I think I stayed Max for just like a month and a half. But
isn't war loot helpful, though, for upgrading?
I'm sure it is. I haven't been added to it, so I'll talk to Crip. Maybe they can add me in some midweek wars for it. But yeah, for the most part, I've been just gobknifing my life away for a very long time. That's why I did the goblins first.
Yeah.
There's the story behind the goblins. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more out of self-preservation, just to get, just to farm quicker. And I'm doing pretty good with it. Last week I had a really slow week. I don't know if you had like kind of slumps with the farming. I really didn't get a lot of farming done last week, but I've been doing really good. I got almost all of my walls back up. You know, you get the extra walls. I got them almost all up to the lavas again. And now that I have the tier system, and I'm so glad that I waited, because I'm looking at the offensive chart right now, Blondie. Was it a mistake to keep the rage off of this list? Was that just an oversight?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it says.
I would think rage would fall into the war spell category.
All right.
Doesn't Town Hall 9 get max rage?
No,
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know
sorry.
why
Oh, is that
it
why?
does, So that's why. It's
Oh,
irrelevant.
right. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's already a Mac.
I didn't check the lab. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go with heal and jump for my 2 war picks. And I get 4 war picks for my troops.
Yeah, so you could have done minors.
Well, I have mine. I have level 1. So I did get the barracks done. So I have level 1 level 1 miner and level 1 bowlers. But I don't have them as level 2. So I can have them as level 1, right?
Why would you take the new heal level over the freeze? Which
I don't know. That's why I had you on the show, so you could tell me what I need to do.
Well, I freaking don't know. I bought a full. I bought like the. Did you ever see that that show like with Will Ferrell? Where the other dad comes in, he gets on a motorcycle and drives to the house.
Yeah.
That's like me trying to attack on my 10. I don't know. Yeah, it gets too fast, too quick. But yeah, so I didn't go through the upgrades, but it seems like I heal kind of got. I mean, it's only recently they've opened up the new level. I haven't seen a lot of big meta changes in response to that, but the freeze seems pretty important.
The heal is kind of important, especially right now with how TH10 is structured up. I mean, I'm a max 10. Heal is very important. Heal and rage, especially when you're doing minor attacks, because right now level 3 minors are just OP when it comes to Town Hall 10.
Yeah, but I don't have level 3 miners at tier 1. Is there any practicality to staying tier 1? Because Blondie, tier 1 and tier 2 are kind of treated the same as far as in the rules, right? The guidelines say tier 1-2.
No, they're totally different because if you're a tier 1, you actually don't count in the Town Hall 10 master roster caps. You're on a separate list. So, and then also you can be used in place of Town Hall 9s. So even in the leagues where the breakdown is pretty set and not as flexible as an invite.
So you're telling me that I can dip on a 9 and not feel guilty?
What I'm saying is, if you agree on a breakdown of 5, 15, 20.
Yeah.
And then your clan and the other clan says, let's swap out a few 9s for tier 1s. Then you can do that. So you'd have 5, 15, but then you'd have a couple of tier 1s. You'd do 5, 17 and have a few less 9s.
So, so on a matchup, a tier 1 Town Hall 10 can be accepted on the other side as a 9, as a max 9.
Yeah. I mean, as long
Doesn't
as you're
seem very
matching it on the other side.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't seem really fair, but
on both sides, they can be traded for a 9 on both sides. So you could and the other side could both use tier 1s instead of 9s in your breakdown.
all I heard was I can dip on a 9 and it's fair. That's all I heard.
Hey, that's up to your war plan. If your war general says, "Brig, dip on the 9," that's your business.
Town Hall 10 taking base 30. That'll be rig.
Yeah.
That's how I like it. Nice and easy. Yeah.
Asking for a spotter to come in and.
Oh yeah. I'll still need Crypt on voice. Crypt, help me.
I look forward to Crypt doing your spotting and you being in the middle of the raid and Crypt saying, "Rig, why have you brought 240 goblins? What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, Rig, why are you gobknifing in war?
Charging for that DE storage.
It could happen actually with my troop comps because if they're pre-cooked, yeah, I might forget. Yeah, you know what? So DeadPlate, looking at that chart, I don't know if you still have it in front of you, but it almost makes you pick with 4 war troops. It almost makes you pick between if you're going to be a ground player or you're going to play an air attack style, right?
Well, yeah.
So you got to choose early. God, this is a lot of pressure.
Well, I mean, it all comes down to play style, right?
Because I would pick, okay, so out of the 4 war troops, which for those that can't see it, it's Wallbreaker, Dragon, P.E.K.K.A., Baby Dragon, Miner, Hog, Valkyrie, Golem, Hound, and Bowler. You could pick 4.
Oh,
So
tough choices.
I would take Hog with the heal. So that's one of the 2 spells. Hog and heal. And then, of course, you're going to need jump with Golem, because that's pretty much Goho right there. So you got to take heal and jump. I don't know what I would do with freeze on the ground, or skeleton, clone, or haste. So I'd have to leave those alone. I guess I would go heal and jump, Hogs, Golem. Now, are those level 1 bowlers, Blondie, on the pick 4? You can't go to level 2, right? That's just level 1s?
If you pick them, you can get them to level 2. If you don't pick them, you have to leave them at level 1.
Oh, okay. So then I could do yeah, Hog, Golem, Bowler, and what's the next one? Miners? Or the Wallbreaker?
It depends. It depends. You know, do you want to pick something to upgrade that you can be more valuable to your clan for donating?
I mean,
Or do you want to?
I know. I feel like the water boy. They're like, Rig, you're in war, so you can donate. Thanks.
Is there not a witch upgrade at 10?
No.
No, not till 11.
Not till 11. Right, never mind. Yeah.
Can I help you a bit here, Rig?
Go ahead, Adam. What's your
Take
advice?
miners, take heal, and then you don't need anything else. You're going to triple every time.
Miners in level 2 miners?
No, level 3.
No, I can't go that high. I can go up to level 2 on tier 1.
They're gonna, to be honest, Rick, I've seen you play. They're going to have you dip in 9s anyway, so just take the miners, crush the 9s, job done.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Wow, no faith in you at all.
Nobody has faith in me.
But
Well, I mean, have you seen his attacks?
I'm so fair play. I'm so fair play. ByeForever doesn't even want me. I suck.
I believe in you, Rig. I believe in you.
I don't
All right.
really believe in you.
Don't listen to the haters.
You know what? I'm gonna do what Jezza did. I'm gonna go on a walkabout. I'm gonna take my account to all kinds of different clans, and I'm gonna let them see how I attack. How about that? Pox
Come
says,
to mine first.
Pox says, Rig, I believe in you. Let's see. In before Rig has the highest 10v10 rate next season. Yeah, BRG, thank you for that confidence. I will be just like CCL from the Swarm. Speaking of which,
Just moving on quickly there. Nicely done.
yeah, a little side note there. So, Blondie, you heard about all the troubles in the Swarm, but
Yeah.
have you heard the latest gossip? That's
What is the latest? What's the latest gossip? Have I missed it?
the latest gossip is that CCL, who's been on the show twice, screaming how fair play he is, has joined. Was it Golden Goblins? Golden Goblins, I believe it was. Now I forgot. With not only CCL but GCH as well from the Swarm. So the two most hardcore screamers of fair play in the Swarm are now part of it. Michael wants to talk about this real quick, so let me drag Michael in. All right, let's see where he is.
Are you trying to say that Golden Goblins aren't fair play?
They keep beating up on North Watchers. Blondie, does that bother you at all?
No, I think it's funny.
Yeah, geez, man. It seemed
They
like-
didn't even perfect us this time. I mean, plebs.
So if Golden Goblins doesn't perfect you, then it's technically a fail on their part, right?
Exactly.
All right, Michael. Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How's everyone doing tonight?
Hey, so how are the new members of Golden Goblins?
I don't know. I've heard that they've been a little technically incompetent.
Oh yeah. So CCL can't install Xmod. He doesn't know how.
No, he did. I believe he did. He has trouble using it, or he's getting help using it. I don't know.
What I don't get is
Yeah,
why cry about being fair play so hard that your face turns red, only to the week after to be installing Xmod and going to Golden Goblins.
Well, I think from their mentality, it's like the fair play community screwed them over, kind of how they were all big advocates of CWL. Then they felt after the account bans and then getting banned, they felt betrayed by the fair play community, and they felt, they felt like like that teenager who wants to rebel against, like, the parents or whatever. That old theme that it happened.
Let me tell you guys a story. I'm gonna tell you guys something. There was one time when I was very young. My mom, she accused me of being on drugs, and I'm being like on like crystal meth or something like that. And never once did I say, you know what? Because you keep saying that I'm using drugs, I'm gonna go buy some crystal meth tonight. It just doesn't make any sense. You're telling everyone that you're fair play. But then as soon as everyone says back to you, no, you're not fair play, you're like, oh, yeah, you're right. Let me install Xmod.
Yeah, well, they felt like they were, like, betrayed by the fair play community because everyone finally threw them under the bus and they were done with. I mean, TS wasn't a clan, so they realized, hey, might as well. The mod community wants us. Everyone's...
Oh, CCL is here. Oh, CCL is here. Hold on a second.
Move him.
Let's see if we can get this guy here. All right. CCL.
He's muted. He's server
Oh,
muted.
sorry. All right, here we go. Oh, no, he's not server muted.
Oh.
CCL, bienvenidos. Welcome.
Yeah.
He's staying online. It's probably about 3 a.m. for him.
CCL, habla.
Habla, CCL.
He says in chat he can't talk right now.
CCL, ping once. Did you successfully install Xmod? Yes or no? Reply back in the chat, please. We will wait. I want to know if he's successful with his new app.
Well, I already know the answer, man.
Magic says Xmod doesn't work.
No, it's not Xmod. Like, it's a mod.
Oh.
It's a type of third-party app.
I'm looking for his response.
It's a Chinese mod. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
it was probably either a Chinese mod.
Oh, well, whatever. He knows what I'm talking about.
That's what-
All right, here. All right, he's typing. This is very exciting. Let's see what he says. CCL, the most fair play guy in the Swarm, now currently in Golden Goblins.
Well, if we're going to talk about the Swarm, let's talk about Michael and Andrew's play in the Swarm.
Oh, you know.
What? What
are you talking about? The Swarm? I was never in the Swarm.
But your account was that you gave to Andrew, right?
Oh, you're thinking of Immoral Thieves, son.
So, yeah, that's true.
All right. Whatever. I don't know what CCL. He must be writing a paragraph.
Yeah, wait. Just wait for his response. It's going to be good. It's going to probably be in, like, terrible grammatics format, but it's going to be.
Are they? Well, they're already banned, right, Blondie?
Who?
GCH and
CCL?
And CCL. Is CCL banned? He's saying I'm
No.
not.
I don't think he has an account on the ban list, CCL, but GCH does.
All right.
People.
Well, if he wanted to speak, he could, but he's probably cracking a base right now. CCL, we'll try to get you next time. I'm sorry you couldn't talk. He says, and no right, I have. He types the way he speaks. And no right, I haven't used any mod. Well, that's because you haven't got it working yet, CCL. I'm sure you'll be successful later.
No.
How does Golden Goblins getting all these players to come over and install mod? What's the attraction there?
Well, they just,
Or is it because there's nowhere to go?
Yeah, it seems like a last resort.
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
Like-
It's when the fair play community rejects them, they go over and he's like, "Hey, fair, chill environment. You know, good guys. We'll come and we'll teach you how to install."
All right.
We're
CCL,
doing.
I'm messing with you, man. I'm just messing. All right. Good luck wherever you go. All right. I don't want you to be angry. You know, these Spanish guys, they get real angry.
Passionate.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what I don't get is, I mean, I can understand if you always wanted to play with mods and back when, you know, I mean, they had their whole little league basically informally. I don't understand. It's not like if you're not in the CWL anymore, you're out of Clash of Clans, right? There's all kinds of other clans out there you could do your own thing with, and other leagues you could probably participate in. So it's not like it's CWL or Golden Goblins. I mean, my comment is that I think there's got to be more to the psychology there about wanting to play the game that way than just, I wanted to be fair play, but there was no home for me anymore, or this sort of thing. That rings pretty hollow to me. But.
Yeah, trust me, there are a lot of TWC clans out there.
Oh man,
It's
getting
partly
some
a time thing as well. Like it's difficult to be fair play every week. I mean, like especially if you're at the top end of CWL, like the amount of time these people are putting into it, especially like the ward generals and the leaders, those kind of people, like it's huge. And in the past, it always used to be that cracking bases took longer than being fair play, but now it's very much the other way around. Like, you know, to crack a base takes however long it takes, whereas, you know, to be fair play and to run a proper war, like for example, if you're in a North Watchers versus ByeForever war, and you're both going at it with 4 and 5 10v10s, some of those people have been on voice for 10, 12 hours each to get it done. It's a real investment every week, and I think that modding more and more these days, not all modding, so apologies to any modders that are offended by this, but like it almost becomes a bit of a retirement home where people who just can't keep putting that effort in to be fair play kind of step aside to go into the modding community because it's easier.
Yeah, maybe, but you know, it's not that. If you can just get over the psychological trauma of failing an attacker once in a while, you can do that in any other kind of clan.
You think it has to do with not being a good attacker? Really?
That's not what I'm saying.
Guy.
Those guys are excellent attackers. I'm not saying that. I'm sure way better than I am, but
they got bored. People got bored of doing the same old attacks over and over and over. They wanted to see something new about the game. I mean, most of the people who are modders now, or were back in the day, were some of the best fair play attackers out there. And even without mods,
you totally misunderstand me if you took me to say that. I agree with you 100%. All I mean is, why would you? If you enjoy the fair play has a unique set of challenges, the modding community has a unique set of challenges. If you enjoy one, it's not clear to me why suddenly there's some binary shift in your preferences to the other just because you know, you feel spurned by some league, right? I mean, does that change the way you enjoy the game? It's not obvious to me that's true. I completely agree with you. They've pioneered attack strategies and they're fantastic attackers, but you know, it's just the way you enjoy the game. It's like, you know.
Well, we have Jake's game too.
I was straight, you know, but this girl dumped me, so I'm going to go gay for a while, you know, like that. I mean, hey, good for you if you're straight, good for you if you're gay, but it's not clear to me that you get dumped by somebody.
I don't know if you can do that, Colonel Mustard. Can you go gay for a while?
That's an ace analogy, Mustard. You are a legend.
I think.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm not going to be around for a couple of weeks. I'm going to go gay for a while.
I don't think you can get back onto the other roster.
Yeah, it's a little hard. So speaking of league restrictions, Blondie, I'm not sure if you've seen this post. It's being copied and pasted repeatedly in the chat.
Yeah, I see it.
This is from Shibaloo. I don't know what's going on with Shibaloo, but he seems upset. He says, I want you guys to hear it from me first. There is a very, and I mean very, big chance that I will not stream a part of the CWL Grand Finals this weekend. At this point, I would say that the chances are 50-50 that I will stream. If I won't stream, a lot of things will chance. I think there'll be a chance, and it will be probably the last time I stream a CWL war ever again. What's going on? What's going on with look at all the times it got posted.
I mean, the only thing I can gather is that there was chatter in leader chats today in CWL server about some of the leaders wanting to come to a sort of like gentleman's agreement of sorts about what is acceptable and not acceptable for streamers to be.
Have we ever needed
and
these
saving.
rules?
We've never had them before. I know that there used to be a kind of like code of, like a code of conduct between the streamers of like, this is cool to show and this isn't cool to show. And, you could get sort of like, some flack from people if you did not follow those rules. But
we have a streamer with us, Adam. Are you familiar with these changes?
I am familiar. They're only proposals at this stage. Let's be.
And they're not.
This.
Also, let's be clear about this. This is not a CWL restriction by any means. That's coming. Like nobody on the CWL staff team has even suggested getting behind restricting any kind of content creation at all.
So is this just these two clans are now all of a sudden making up the rules that if you want to stream our war, that you have to follow what we want?
I think there are a few clan leaders that are frustrated with their bases being burnt week after week, and they are suggesting that...
Oh, it's because there are higher profile wars.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're suggesting that the clan leaders come together and agree upon some sort of rules of play.
Can I say something, Blondie? I think that this is just lazy base building. I mean, shouldn't they be throwing those bases away after every war?
It's the last war of the season. You don't think that these two clans' bases aren't going to get burnt? Really?
No, I don't think it's talking about just one particular war. I think they're talking about like, in the coming season and like ongoing.
Right.
All right. Gannicus just posted these rules here. Just take a look.
And that's great for like the next season, right? Why have these restrictions on the last war?
No one's talking about restricting the last war.
Well, Shub obviously feels like that. Right?
Rule. All right, hold on. We got
Shuba's frustration is more about the fact that people are even discussing restricting streamers, and therefore he's going to move away from this war. I don't think he's worried about them being in that war. I think he's just this is his reaction to it.
It's literally just a discussion between leaders being blown into some giant drama, like the CWL's placing restrictions upon people. And that's not even what's going on. There's just leaders talking about like what's the best way to navigate the situation that people are polarized by.
Oh, I think it's Rule 7. I think that's what the problem is. Look at Rule 7 there. He's not allowed to wear hats anymore.
No, it says stupid hats, and all of his hats are awesome, so it's definitely he'd be exempt from that anyway.
Yeah, he'd be fine.
Who else wears that? Oh, King of the North. Sorry. He wears the hats too.
Don't show scouts. Only show successful replays. So no live attacks.
Yeah, the suggestions are absolutely atrocious. There's no doubt about it. But there are a few leaders, like Blondie's saying, that are unhappy about it. But I don't know why somebody in that channel has not had the common sense to say, even if we don't stream, even if we don't YouTube, even if we do no media, which let's not ignore the damage that it would do, but let's pretend that we didn't do any of that. There's so many duels anyway that it wouldn't make any difference. Every base still gets burnt. I mean, like 50% of players are in 2 clans. It's like every single base you come up against, you can't use again because there's too much chance that somebody's already seen it. So it's all completely irrelevant. It's just a waste of people's time.
Yeah, and that's been mentioned as well. It has been mentioned.
Well,
but, as I said, it's just like, something that's being discussed. It's not worth people getting their panties in a bunch over. No restrictions have been made upon anyone.
I just brought it up because Shubalu got so crazy. Shubalu, I think he's probably getting close to like getting married. He's probably just a bundle of nerves.
You think so?
It's probably what it is. He doesn't know how to deal with it. He's got to make that little lady happy. He's freaking out. I don't know.
One thing that might happen going forwards, I mean, obviously, like Rick said, there's sort of 3 leagues now going forwards with NDL, with ICL, and with CWL, is it might end up being that sort of a clan that wants to be in a media-orientated league will go to whatever the media-orientated league is, and then there'll be some leagues that are less media-orientated, and that, I mean, I'm not a big fan of all these multiple leagues, but equally that could work out quite well because there definitely are some clans that don't enjoy media, even very good clans that don't enjoy media, whereas there's some clans that really do. So maybe that's the way forward for the community.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been in a, Blondie and Rick can probably fill in whether or not that's been their experience as well. But, you recruiting, so many things that are essential to keeping a good war clan on top directly relate to your media.
Absolutely.
Presence. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I would think that, I've been on the other side of it too and been frustrated because we've had somebody cover the war and, show bases that weren't ever beat, et cetera. It's frustrating, but it's, the compromise should always be, I think, to favor coverage and increase exposure. It's good for the clans.
Yeah, but most streamers aren't showing bases that have only been like, let's say, 2-starred, right? Most streamers are showing that initial live attack, but after that point, they're not showing that attack again.
No doubt.
Attacks it, right?
Right, but a lot of streamers do archive their streams so people can go back and watch through and find what they're looking for. But I mean,
what if we blur the traps? Can we pixelate them? Maybe we could do it. Chat makes a good point. He says Shuba misses lives without any rules. Imagine if he had to focus on these too. That's true. I don't know why Shubs is so angry. He usually does not catch a live attack, and we love him for that.
And there has to be something else that's underpinning this for him, because he's not usually the type of person that gets upset about something so easily. So I'm pretty sure there's something else that's to this.
Could be.
To me, it just sounds like someone has control issues and they need to have their finger in everything and have rules over everybody.
Well, there was a little thing going on with streamers not being able to get into some of these clans over this last weekend to stream some of the wars. Like some of the clans weren't letting certain streamers come inside their clan. So
Well, I mean, and that's kind of the prerogative of the clan leaders as well. I mean, we don't want to place for me anyways, personally, my opinion is I don't think we should place restrictions on streamers or YouTubers, but I also don't think we should force clan leaders to let people into their clan that they don't want to let in.
Yeah, that way as a streamer or whatever, you fall back on your own reputation if you want to get in and cover the wars.
Right.
So didn't the admins make the streamer list for the final?
The media team, I think, came up with the. Yeah,
came up with it. What if one of the finalist clans doesn't like one of the streamers? Isn't that forcing them to let someone into their clan they don't want to?
I don't know
like
that's come up. I mean, they can stream from either side, so I would think that if one clan was like, no, I don't want that person to stream from our side, then they could stream from the other side.
How about we just have no streamers?
I'm glad to go and die in a fire.
That settles that. Oh, sorry, Adam, I forgot.
Oh, Adam, I thought you stopped streaming Clash, bro. I mean, there was an announcement just a few weeks ago, wasn't there?
Yeah, I heard that announcement as well, but I prefer that if I'm going to stop streaming Clash, I prefer if it was me that's made that announcement, sort of thing.
Sure.
Was that a rumor-based thing, or did you really say that, Adam? I didn't hear that.
No, it was you that said it.
What?
It was you that said it, Rick. What are you talking about?
I don't remember.
I got so many DMs. It's like, dude, you said that you were streaming us tomorrow. I'm like, I still am. Ignore Rick.
That's what drunk podcasting does. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, speaking of streams, somebody just reminded me. So Peled, our little friend there that brought down, or was a part of the reason that brought down War Whales out of the CWL, he was streaming alongside the other Clash streamers over the weekend, but he was playing chess at the same time. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that. It was really weird. But he was streaming the PWC versus War Whales stream. But in the corner of the stream was one of his chess games. was going. I have no idea what that was about. But I let's see. I took a screenshot of him setting up. I'm going to post it in the Discord chat here. But it's not the chess game itself. But this was him. This was him setting up a window that was completely covering the war screen as he was setting up a chess.
Well, he was covering up the traps.
Sure.
That's what pixelated looks like.
Yeah, he was covering up the traps to make sure no one grabbed that base.
Yeah, as I was navigating my way towards Adam's stream, I saw PWC stream. I was like, "What the heck is this?"
This has been a crazy day for me. So we're saying that Golden Goblins aren't fair play. Now we're saying that Pellet's not fair play. I'm learning a lot here.
That's right. Pellet is not fair play, but according to Buggy, he is God. So we do have some. We have some PWC people in here. So that was pretty interesting. I saw a chess match live on a Clash stream. All right.
Were there any messages popping up from his Mensa club, or is it?
It was just really weird. It was just really weird to see a chess game. It was like two strategy games stacked on top of each other. I didn't realize the time. We got to hurry up. We're already past 7:00. Let's get into the real wars of this past weekend. I'm going to turn this segment over to Adam. And Blondie, I apologize, but on my new setup, I don't have the news sound. But
it's all good.
Let's just get right into it because we are running out of time. Adam, you are our war aficionado. You know what happened throughout the weekend. So why don't you give us a recap of what was happening in Clash of Clans on Twitch?
Oh man, it was an awesome weekend. Again, 2 weekends in a row. In fact, there've been quite a few good weekends. First of all, we had the Premier Final. The CDWL set up a 24-hour stream for that, so you got to see, I think there was 7 streamers in total streaming that one. And that was Marshall's Nation versus FYSB. It was a good war, but Marshall's Nations were pretty convincing, as they have been all the way through. They beat Dark Looters X, they beat... Who else did they beat to get through? They beat WHF2, and then they beat FYSB in the final, so they are the Premier Champions. They had more 10v10s, less dip fails, just in every way they were just that little bit better, and really well done. And obviously a clan that not many people knew before the start of this season, but I feel that wherever they end up playing next season, they're going to be on people's radar that bit more because they've been superb. So yeah, Marshall's Nation, well done for the Premier Championship.
Yeah, and what do you think about their future with next season? Do you think that they will go up? Do you think it's something for them to do, or any of these Premier League clans, I should say, these Premier clans to try to climb up to a higher, more challenging league?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Premier is probably the most underrated part of the CWL at the minute. It was a mistake to make it run at the same time as Invite. If it had been on Friday night and we could have streamed some of these wars and sort of highlighted them a bit more, I think a lot of people would have seen. I mean, I'm not just talking about the winners here. I'm talking about like the top 8, 9, 10 clans were putting out sort of top quality stuff as good as Invite. Obviously, with slightly lighter breakdowns, but they're very much capable. And I think that whenever CWL sort of goes through and has a look at which clans are putting in which league next season, I think they'll look at a lot of the Premier clans with, knowing that they can take a step up and do the job. There were some really good wars, some really good clans in there. So yeah, I think that if Marshall's Nation step up, they'll do very well in Invite. And equally, I still think there's quite a few other clans in Premier that would, not
is that
at all.
Is that where Grumpy Old Men?
Yes, Grumpy Old Men. What a great name.
So there are quite a few clans in there that are making a name for themselves, even in the Premier League. That
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely have a chance.
WHF2 are already sort of famous. Same with Dark Looters X. You've got Marshall's Nation, FYSB, Grumpy Old Men, King Jeffrey. There's to name but a few. Sorry if I miss anybody, but yeah, there's plenty that can do a good job in a higher league next season.
Well, maybe we can reach out to Blondie and the other admins. Maybe we can get those streamed on a Friday night, so we have some more stream time. Blondie, what do you say?
It's a possibility.
Blondie, come on, just say yes.
What?
Just say yes.
It's not up to me.
Well, you're an admin.
A keyboard monkey.
Oh, sure. We all know who's the real puppet master around here. It's you.
Not me. That's for sure.
How are things working out for you real quickly with your admin position? Things kind of calmed down I'm sure you're not as stressed out as you were months before.
You know what? We added so many people to the team, and it's so nice having all the help. It's really really been nice having a lot of people to kind of share the load. That's
great, and that's how to do it too. Have more people involved, so less people are stressed out. Adam, let's continue on to the rest of our wars.
There were a couple of other interesting wars as well. We had FPC UK going up against Immoral Thieves, and they are two of the hottest clans in the game right now. Obviously, this was just a friendly war, if you want to call it that, but it was one of the best wars in a long time. It was 6-5 on 10v10s, and 11v11 triple in favour of FPC UK. However, they dip failed a couple of times, so it was just so close all the way through. Ended up being a percentage win to FPC UK. Man, I hope that we see more of those two clans meeting up, because they were just, both of them, incredible. Really good stuff. Did
Scottori have a chance to stream the final? I didn't catch this war at all.
He didn't. He'd already committed to streaming, I think it was the minor league final, because obviously Scott likes to get involved in other stuff as well, like to promote sort of other leagues, so he got involved in that. I was going to stream some of it, but then the CWL Light War, one of the clans in it, which is probably going to highlight who it is, but Meet the Kings didn't realise they had a war. They managed to get through to the final, so well done to them, and somehow not managed to work out that they were in a final. So we had to move our war, which meant that, obviously I've been Team Above and Beyond all the way through the season, so I had to stream it. So yeah, it was gutting. It was one of the best wars sort of in the community, and FPC UK and Immoral Thieves, not enough people got to see them. So yeah, gutted, but it will happen again, I'm sure of it.
I'm surprised FPC UK. I didn't know they could hang like that.
Oh, they're hanging at the very, very top.
Well,
the players from the UK, they're obviously going to be superior.
What happened to you then?
Yeah, I'm on the bench. It's they keep mentioning it to me. They're like, "Oh, you're going to sign up an account?" So I'm like, "Yeah." So I sign up an account, and then, Adam, you didn't quite met this roster. Oh, damn it.
I wonder if that's why Scott couldn't do the stream either. It has a definite time difference, right, from America, US.
Yeah, but it was 5 p.m. Eastern time at weekend. There was nothing crazy with the start time.
Oh yeah, that's right in the middle of the day.
It was just because it stacked up with the other wars. It was just unfortunate this weekend, because there were a couple of other cool wars that went on as well. Guantanamo Bay with Forged from Steel versus Emphatic Elite with OneHive 2.0. And they made two wars. They did a 50 versus 50 Town Hall 9 with some restrictions, which was a lot of fun. But then they did a 50 versus 50 with just Town Hall 10s and 11s. Which again, awesome war, lots of cool stuff happened there, and I really like it when the community gets creative and does something a little bit different. So big shout out to all those guys. They had a really good war. It was a bit one-sided in the end, but the idea of it and the concept of it was awesome. So like I said, big shout out to them for organising it, because it ain't easy to organise stuff like that.
Well, I know you're anxious to talk about the war, the war that I knew you wanted to talk about. So why don't we?
It's building up to it.
Oh, do you have another war before we talk about Above and Beyond?
Well, just a shout out. There was the Balkan War League finals and the Minor War League finals this weekend as well. And they were both excellent matches, well streamed by the guys involved with those. Don't want to talk too much about them. Just want to give them a quick shout out.
Well, I'll tell you what, Adam. This is all being recorded for YouTube as well. If you can get me screenshots, I will definitely put the screenshots into the video and raise as much awareness as I can to expose more of these other leagues that they don't get the screen time as much. So maybe we can do that after the show.
But you're right, there was one other big war, and it was my boys in Above and Beyond against Meet the Kings. And like I said, there was a bit of a drama with the final having to be moved. It was meant to run Friday night like the Light War League always has done. But like I said, Meet the Kings, I don't really know what happened, but obviously they're from India, so some of the communication wasn't as easy as it could have been. But eventually we got the spin done, and we set up. And for anyone that doesn't know, Above and Beyond, they won Season 1, they were superb. They went into Season 2, obviously pretty much as favourites, but the Light League has a very small breakdown, and what that means is you've no margin for error. If you make mistakes, you lose wars. You don't have enough people to sort of recover it for you, and that's what's made some of the wars so exciting this season. And like I said, it's been like the whole league has been running really good spirits. Like it's always a lot of fun to stream for them and to talk to any of the clans from there. And so this final was lined up. It went off, and we were ahead for pretty much the entire war. And all we needed was one attack to round it out. We had a 1-star Town Hall 10. So our super reliable 11 that I don't think's failed an attack all season walks into it. It's like, what a good do. And he 1-stars. And we had no other attacks left. So we were 2 stars down on the board. It was just unbelievable. We just given the war away. Like, honestly, I can't put it any other way. Like, and I love the guy and I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but he just gave the war away, and we were just like, wow. And everyone on the stream was just like, wow, it was unbelievable. And apparently the story afterwards was a sneaky dragon that no one had seen from the CC that had gone round and completely murdered everything in the raid. So that sneaky dragon completely opened it up. Have you had that before, Rigger? A sneaky dragon ruining your raid?
Dragons are always unpredictable, especially when you're not counting on it. Yeah, they can wreck you. In fact, I think we haven't seen, well, at least recently, I haven't seen a lot of dragons in the CCs, but they definitely suck when you get one. So, but
apparently it was hiding in a cluster of loons, and that's why it didn't get seen by the spotter.
So you were saying that the light league, it has less room for error, which I totally agree. Is like when you were saying that, I started thinking about how the lighter weight classes of boxing are sometimes some of the most exciting boxing matches because these guys are so small, and there is very little room for error. But they're fast and they're quick, and you usually can get a great match out of it to watch. With the light breakdowns, what was that war at? What was the breakdown for those?
2-6-17 breakdown.
2-6-17. Yeah, so there's not really a lot of room for like dips, so you got to rely on the 9s. There must be a lot of 9s that don't get cleared, I'm sure, in light, right?
Some, yeah, but it's more down to the 10v11 and the 11v10 because, like, if, say, ByeForever go on a bad streak and they fail 6 10v11s in a row, you've still got plenty of attacks to recover it. You don't have that in light. If you miss a couple of attacks, especially if you miss 11 dips, it's over. You've just lost. And that's kind of what happened here. We failed that attack and it was like, wow, we're done for. And then they went for this crazy 10v10 triple. They didn't need it. And they went for this 10v10 triple and got it. And we were all just like, wow, it was their first 10v10 triple of the war. It was probably the best hit of the war. So this is in the last 10 minutes. These guys come out with an absolutely beautiful 10v10 triple. It's like, we're done for. So we're going into the last couple of minutes. There's one attack left from them. And it's on a 1-star Town Hall 11. And he has to hit it with a Town Hall 11. So all he needs to do is get the 2nd star and he's won. He could even have got high percentage and got the win. And he went in there with the witch attack, obviously. He just wanted to bum rush the Town Hall. And we were all like, oh, it's over, it's over. And then the king started to wander to the north side and started killing buildings. We're like, oh, the king's gone the wrong way, what a good do. And then we saw the queen walking in behind. We were just like, oh, she's still going to get the Town Hall. And then she shoots off to the south side. And so this Town Hall sat in the middle of the base, not getting hit. They 1-starred. We still thought we'd lost because we thought we'd lost on percentage.
Was it an anti-2 base?
Yeah, it was an anti-2 base as well. Like in every way, like it was just unbelievable. We come out of the attack, and we're at 95.5%. They're at 95.3%. We've got a 0.2% win, and nobody could believe it. It was just like what a roller coaster it was that lasted a half an hour.
I wish I could see that replay. Maybe it's out there somewhere. Maybe you recorded it. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's all on there. But yeah, I mean, it was just unbelievable. And again, lighter breakdown, so a lot of people are put off from it. But it just shows when you've got two great clans doing awesome stuff. Like the wars are still mega, and like I said, it was. I mean, I must have aged about 10 years doing that last hour, but it was totally worth it. And obviously, above and beyond, my boys, the champions, I was delighted.
Yeah, I couldn't. I had to step out of the house, but I missed the finale of that. But I enjoy watching your streams on the big screen. I throw that up through Chromecast, and I can watch Twitch right on the big TV. It's awesome.
You were the first person that ever sent me a screenshot of that. Like, obviously, when I was very small and I was doing work with Blondie and Lunatics, and I had like sort of 10, 12 viewers, and you were one of them. And you showed me that big screen. And honestly, even to this day, I'll never forget that. It really made me feel good that I was on somebody's big screen.
It was a lot of fun, actually. And your stream is great, Adam. So if you don't know who Adam is by now, Time to Clash on Twitch. Just check him out, Time to Clash, and follow him. And
now we have one more. Sorry, thank you. I appreciate the shout out, but I'm
go
trying
ahead.
to move quickly for you. We've got one more, and we've got 6 people in here, so we need some predictions. We've only got one match coming up this week. Well, we've got 2, but we're only going to talk about one. So it's not just predicting the winner; it's also the star differential. Like, who are we going for this weekend?
All right. Are you talking about the great invite matchup that's going to happen? Is that this next weekend? Is that when it's scheduled for?
This weekend, yeah. 2
I'm
PM
sorry,
Eastern
this weekend.
time. Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern. It will kick off on Saturday.
Let's get the panel going because I got to think about this one. Colonel Mustard, who do you think is going to win the Great Finland War for the Invite League?
Jeez, man. Somebody else is going to have to go first. I'm going to have to think for a second, too. There's got to be someone else in here.
I'll go first.
Yeah,
All right.
please do.
I'm going to go War and Glory, win by 1, Itsu to fail 3 dips.
Itsu fails 3 dips?
Yep.
That's a tall order there. I'm not sure. Although I would love to see Itsu fail 3 times. That'd be awesome. So your star differential, Joey, is 1 star.
Yep.
1 star. Okay. Let's get Blondie now for her prediction. Blondie, War and Glory versus Dark Looters in Finland. No holds barred. Who
Oh my
wins?
god, this is so tough.
Who wins and by how much?
Well, I think it'll be really close. I don't think that it's going to be like a blowout on either side. But I think that War and Glory is going to take it this time.
So everyone really thinks that War and Glory has a chance at this. That's great. I didn't think that many people would say that, but it is nice to hear, right, Adam?
I don't care. War and Glory are going to win it no matter whether people think they're going to or not.
All right. Before Adam gives his prediction, I will give mine. Oh, DeadPlate is here too. DeadPlate. War and Glory versus Dark Looters. Shoot straight, my friend. Oh, he fell asleep on the couch. Poor thing. All right, well,
I'll jump in with mine, and I think Dark Looters probably pulls it out by a star. So
Dark Looters by 1 star.
yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to. I would have no problem. I would enjoy seeing War and Glory pull it out, but I think DL's probably got it.
All right.
A number from Blondie as well.
She didn't give a differential? Star difference, Blondie.
Okay, I'll say War and Glory will win it by. They're going to win on percent.
Oh, okay. So a very, very close one.
Yeah.
Wow.
DeadPlate, your prediction for this war this Saturday. And will you be watching it live on the live stream? Live from
Oh, yeah.
Supercell.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch to see what type of attacks
Itsu does.
high level players. Let's see if it's go wipe again like it was last time.
Oh,
I think it'll be War and Glory, actually. I think War and Glory will win by 2.
a 120 draw? I don't think so. All right. I'm going to say. Actually, I'm going to make a prediction right now. I have a feeling some of these Dark Looters guys are going to get arrested for other things, like maybe partying too hard the night before, and maybe the cops bust them, and then they miss the live stream because they're locked up. So I have a feeling something crazy like that's going to happen. So I'm going to say War and Glory by 3+ stars for the win. And
Wow.
I would not be surprised if they win by 4 stars. But I'm going to go for War and Glory, 3+ stars. Itsu arrested. And Black Tiger probably, Black Tiger will be arrested for prostitution or being caught with a prostitute, and Itsu will probably have some sort of drunken fight.
Itsu will be that prostitute.
No, Itsu will be arrested for drunken disorderly in Finland, and he will miss, and that's going to rock Dark Looters. They'll fall apart.
I don't think that they can count on any of those attacks whatsoever that are going to be over there in Finland.
I don't know. I mean, if they're playing with a developer iPad, then Dark Looters has a really good chance of winning. That's all I got to say. So hopefully they don't have that. Hopefully they take it away.
I'm not going down any of those roads. I think that this will be a completely fair play final and always was going to be. But I still think War and Glory are going to win. They've worked really hard. They're great, and I'm not just rooting for them. I feel that we're going to win. But I know for a fact that because it's War and Glory, they'll make it as sort of emotional as possible all the way up and down through the war and make it really painful to watch.
Dude, how happy are you? I mean, just like ByeForever. I mean, it was that win over IT that got us to have a chance even into the playoffs. But now War and Glory, because of an overturned judgment, you guys now have an opportunity to take it all the way. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
But it's kind of been like that all season. Like you can't. It's not just one decision. I mean, we had a really narrow loss to DLZ in the early season. Like again, it was a high scoring one. We got beat by the best PWC war this season. And obviously, if you guys watched them last weekend, it's possible they may not have been completely legit with us. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of ups and downs throughout the season. It's just like, it's great that we're here. Screw what's happened. Let's just go out there and give it as absolute best. And like I said, I mean, even if Dark Looters win, and respect to them if they do, it'll still be a great showing by War and Glory. Whatever happens, every single one of them are going to be able to hold their heads up high and say what a great season it was.
Well, DL goes
in the final. You deserve a huge kudo. I mean, it's amazing to. It is. So many ups and downs in the seasons, and just to be there. I mean, it's really not a lose, but should be an awesome match.
If it wasn't ByeForever, I'm glad it was War and Glory.
So if DL goes 0-24 again, I think you guys have a real good chance.
I'm optimistic that if they do, we should be good.
Well, they did that like barely a couple of weeks ago, so anything's possible.
All of a sudden, right after the update, 0-24. It's kind of interesting.
All right.
Well, that's the kind of crazy thing about it, because if you look at DL's 3 wars they've had in the playoffs, the first and third, they were superb, and the second, they were pretty bad, and I don't think they'll mind me saying that. But equally, War and Glory, when we went up against the Swarm, now let's ignore any drama that's linked to that. We were crap. We weren't good enough. Like, we ain't going to beat any clan playing like we did. But then we were really good against DLC, really good against Spartan's Legacy. So it's like, it's the nature of being fair play that things are a little bit up and down. So again, nobody quite knows what's going to happen in this final.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck factor in all this too, and you never know. It could have one player can get really hot and get some great attacks, or it can go the other way, and you'll have a player that you count on that just has a bad attack. So, but anyways, we're gonna wrap up the iTunes version of the podcast here. We went pretty long. I think it's about an hour and a half. So, thank you, Blondie, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome to stay, but for those of the Patreon supporters or those that like to stay on live, we are going to be doing something a little special after, and we're going to be looking at Pac's Tinder account. So,
oh, really?
Yes, and this is going to pull off on YouTube very well, but we are going to help Pac with his game, as they call it. Pac has...
Good luck, Pac.
Clash of Clan, Clash of Clans. I got gym money. I got gym money. I got gym money. Clash of Clan, Clash of Clans. I got gym money. I got gym money. I got gym money. Clash of Clan, Clash of Clans. I got gym money. I got gym money. I got gym money. Clash of Clan, Clash of Clans. I got gym money. I got gym money. I got gym money. Oh All these haters jealous, I'm about to have a heyday. I'm about to cop some gems, cause tomorrow is my payday. I can't move on to the next town hall till I'm done upgrading. So for the next 3 hours, I'll be in the bathroom playing Clash of Clans, Clash of Clans. Yeah, I got gym money. Just got these new air missiles and they going dragon hunting. I just sped up some more troops, I'm gonna steal some more loot. And when they ask if I spend real cash, I say of course, dude. Shit, I probably could've bought a Porsche, dude. Or at least a baby horse, dude. Damn, if we weren't always at war, dude. But I love gyms, I think I'm gonna buy some more. Clash of Clans, Clash of Clans. I got gym money. I got gym money. I got gym money. Clash of Clans, Clash of Clans. I got gym money. I got gym money. I got gym money. Clash of Clans, Clash of Clans. I got gym money. I got gym money. I got gym money. Clash of Clans, Clash of Clans. I got gym money. I got gym money. I